Hello everyone, this is Dozozabe. I've just recently found out something. If you recall, my one of the last videos I did titled Let's Play SD Gundam Capsule Fighter, that I had stated that there would not be another Gundam game to appear on American shores after that. Apparently I was wrong. Even though this is not a type of game that we might be hoping for, it's still a Gundam game, and this is the fourth installment of the Dynasty Warriors Gundam series. This one is called, instead of it being just 4, it's called Reborn. Dynasty Warriors Gundam Reborn. Now, this game was released in Japan on December 19th, 2013. We are going to get it as a digital download, which is good for me because my PlayStation 3 is so we're gonna get it as a digital download summer 2014, so this summer, and it's gonna be for the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita. Now that is good because one, my PlayStation 3's Blu-ray reading light is broken, so it can't read any of the games that I have on disc. And I refuse to send it to Sony to get it fixed because all they'll do is replace it with a friggin' cheaper version of the Blu-ray reading light that will break again in another 3 months, and they will wipe your entire system when you can actually fix it without wiping the system. Now, what's going to be different about this game? Apparently, the developers are going to change it to a more realistic style from the first 2 predecessor games, for a more realistic graphic style than to the first games of the series, because the Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3 may have been a bit too flashy. What's going to be different about this game? Well, they are adding in if you recall from Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3, that there were no space maps that you would fight on. Now this happens to be different in this case with Reborn. Now we're going to get a layered space map, so now it's not going to be like we're just all playing one map. No, like we're going to actually be able to like go, I guess, from a top layer to a middle layer to a down to a lower layer. Excuse me, having a hard time speaking. And so essentially it's supposed to simulate what it feels to fly in space. Well, Dynasty Warriors can't do that for shit. So even if you were to put those 3 layers on, I don't think it would change that much, but I would still like to see it. Now they're going to be adding in the this new thing called the burst system, which, if you remember from the previous games, in order to enter an altered state of your mobile suit, like for example in Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3, if you were using the any of the Gundam 00 mobile Gundams or mobile suits, like the Susanoo or the 00 or Saravi, you could when you activated a Maju attack or a SP attack, you would be able to enter an altered state, essentially allowing, when you use the Gundam 00 mobile suits, you would enter Trans Am. Now, this is going to be different. They're going to add this burst mode so you don't have to use an SP attack in order to get into that, and that's going to be activated by the R2 button. Now, this is interesting because it's not just going to be with, like, say, it's not going to just stick with, like, certain abilities, like Trans Am or something like that. If you recall, from Gundam Seed, there was this thing called the Meteor, which is essentially a mobile suit's alternate weapon pack It's a weapon pack, and essentially gives them 100 times more power output, as well as the ability to carry heavier weapons, as well as more powerful weapons, even using longer swords, per se. The same thing in the Gundam 00 series was called the GN Arms. So, expect you to somehow see the battle, something change with a mobile suit significantly when you're playing it, when you play press R2 or something like that. Essentially, that's what is supposed to happen. Let's see. They're going to be returning the official mode, which is following the original storyline of some of the series. Like, we're going to end up seeing the original Gundam series. Now, I don't know if they're going to add in the crossover storyline that everybody liked, or they're just going to stick with this official mode where you just play through the story of each of certain Gundam series. Like, there's going to be, unfortunately, even though I disagree with this, that there's going to be more of an emphasis on the Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny series, which is... Blech. There will be... Now, this is another statement. There will be a greater number of CGI cutscenes along with footage taken from the shows themselves. So that means when you're playing through this official scene, you might actually be able to see scenes from the original, from the animes, as well as stuff of their own. Most likely a recreation. The CGI cutscenes are probably going to be recreations of the original scenes. Now, this is another thing. We are going to be getting a huge update to the roster of mobile suits, mobile armors, and characters. Now, what we end up seeing here is, now the bulk of which is going to be coming from the Gundam Seed series, of course. And I literally do mean the bulk. As far as I know, I'll get into that later. We're gonna be getting a few things from different series. We're gonna be, for example, the first thing on this list is the NZ333A Aziru, which is a mobile armor from the movie Char's Counterattack. Now, this is interesting. The Aziru, it doesn't say that the Aziru is unplayable. But I don't expect this, but it is possible in this new game we might actually be able to use mobile armors. At least excluding the Devil Gundam from Mobile G Gundam. But that's just my own speculation. Because on the list that I am seeing here of the things that are going to be in this game, the Aziru says only usable in space environments. What that simulates to me is that it will be a playable mobile armor. But then again, you can't be entirely sure. Because on the same list, the majority of the ones that we do know, the mobile armors we do know, don't say they're non-playable. Like, I can look at the Big Zom right now, and it said that right next to it, it says nothing. It doesn't say it's new, nor does it say it's unplayable. You know what I'm saying? But I don't believe that will happen. It'd be awesome if we could, but it's not going to happen. At least I hope it doesn't. I hope I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, what other additions to the roster? Here's something new. If you remember from Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3, the from the Gundam 00 series, you got the Arios Gundam, Sheridan Gundam, Saravi Gundam, and Susanoo as DLCs. Now, as we are going to be getting those DLC characters, not as DLC, they're going to be coming with the vanilla game. Which is good, so we don't have to rebuy them or anything like that if you're fans of the Gundam 00 series like I am. Now, here's something interesting. There are no new additions to the Gundam Wing series. However, as in new additions, I don't mean we're going to be getting Sandrock and Catra or Wu Fei with Zhenglong Gundam. We're not going to be getting those. However, we will be getting Wing Zero Endless Waltz version as a DLC. Which is pretty fucking cool. If you are familiar with the Endless Waltz movie, and if you've seen it, you saw how the majority of these the Gundams look completely different than what they look in the series. While as the way they look in the series looks a little bit more retro and not retro, excuse me, but flashy, as well as that, while the Endless Waltz versions of the Gundams actually look really badass. Like how the Wing Zero has the actual angel wings. Another thing with the DLC is that for Gundam 00, it's kind of the same thing. We are going to be getting the the 00 Guan T from Awakening of the Trailblazer, even though that movie really did not do so well. Wasn't all that good. It's still very cool that we're going to be getting something. I don't know if it will add in the other Awakening of Trailblazer or Endless Waltz versions of the other Gundams, but let's hope so. Okay. What other new additions? Sorry, I actually am not recording this live. I'm just recording it while I have the list in front of me from the site. Let's see. Switch between. Oh, to the Gundam Unicorn roster, we are going to be getting a couple new mobile suits, including the Banshee, which is the Black Unicorn Gundam, and we're getting a few other mobile suits like the Delta Plus, the Gira Zulu, and as a part of a DLC, we're going to be getting this thing called the Full Armored Unicorn Gundam, which has a shitload of weapons on it. So, to Stardust Memory, Mobile Suit Gundam 0083, Stardust Memory. We are going to be getting Gundam Unit 3. And while in burst mode, it turns into the Orcus. So it's going to look like the Gundam Unit 3 is going to look how it looks without that huge battle pack. If you were familiar with the series, how it just had like the huge missile launchers on its back and the long beam cannon as an eye field as well. So, burst mode, you're going to get that. Now we're going to get some other things that are not necessarily from a series. We are actually going to be getting this thing called, from one of the mangas that was never turned into a series, which was, as a DLC, we're going to be getting the Crossbone Gundam X1 Kai. And its character as well. I do know that it's confirmed that we are going to be getting the characters for these. It's just not going to be some random Gundam we're going to get. we're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Another, no, let's save that to the end of the video. So now let's get into the Gundam Seed series. Now, like I said, the bulk of which of the update to the roster is going to be coming from the Gundam Seed series. And I do literally mean the bulk. It's actually a whole crap. If you remember, when Gundam Seed entered the Dynasty Warriors Gundam back in the second game, you only pretty much got 3 characters. You got Athrin Zola, Kira Yamato, and Lacus Klein. And only 2 of them were usable. Lacus Klein was an operator. And with the 2 playable characters, Kira Yamato and Athrin Zola, you got, I believe, the Strike Freedom Gundam and the Infinite Justice Gundam. Now they're changing that up a bit by adding a huge update to the roster. Excuse me, I did forget that what's his face? That Shin Asuka was there with his Destiny Gundam. Now we're going to be getting as I said, the huge update. We're going to actually be getting a good portion of what was in the original Gundam Seed series. So we're actually going to get the Strike Gundam, and as a part of this burst mode, you're going to be able to equip the Ale Strike Gundam pack, the Launcher Gundam pack, the Swords pack. You're also going to get the Aegis Gundam, the Buster Gundam, the Bliss Gundam, the Dual Gundam, the original Freedom Gundam, and the original Justice Gundam, the Strike Rouge, the Ashtray, Strike Dagger, Forbidden Gundam, Calamity Gundam, Raider, Providence. And the same goes for the Seed Destiny update, which you're going to get the Impulse Gundam. You're going to get, obviously, the Strike Freedom and the Strike Infinite Justice, as well as Destiny. You're going to get the Slash Zaku Warrior. That's one of my pet peeves with the whole Gundam Seed series, is that they literally ripped off pretty much a good portion of the original series, including some of the names for the mobile suits. Some of the names on the mobile suits, like Slash Zaku Warrior. So we're gonna get like the Slash Zaku Warrior, the Zaku Phantom, just the regular Zaku Warrior. We're gonna get the Gunner Zaku Warrior and the Lunamaria Hawk custom version of that. Then we're going to get the Legend Gundam, the Destroy Gundam, the Jet Windam, the Chaos Gundam, Gaia, Abyss, and the Akatsuki. So expect to see. So if you are a fan of that series, and you're especially a fan of, like, let's say, fucking idiot. Stella Louiser, excuse me, you will be able to play her, as well as you're gonna get cut. Actually, I'm looking at the roster right now. For a Gundam Seed update, is gonna be Yizak Jewel, Durka Elsman, Nicole Alfemi, Rowley Crusette, Mula Flaga, Gagali Yuli Arthur, Maru Ramia, Shani Address, Maruda Azriel, Natarli Batugriel, Flea Alistair, Orga Zemanak, Clotho Buer. As for the Gundam Seed thing, you're going to get Talia Gladius, Ray Zabriel, Sting Oakley, Oil Nider, whatever the frack his name is, Stella Louiser, Neo Roanoke, Gilbert Durandal. You're going to get these characters as a part of the huge update. So, there you go for the Gundam Seed fans. Thank you for destroying Gundam again. uh, that's pretty much it. That's all the information that I have about this game that we're going to get in summer for 2014. The huge update to the roster, the burst system, the fact that we're going to be getting jet maps, and the official mode again. Nothing on multiplayer or anything like that. I will put a link into the description if you want to read see the full list and the new features, as well as thing. Now, no, all this information is coming from from the official Gundam wiki. So I don't know if it's going to be truly that informative or if the stuff's correct or whatnot, but I just felt that this was easier. So, also, there's one more unit that I forgot to mention, and that is what is known as the GPB-04B Bear Guy. This is part of the new DLC, and what it essentially is Mecha Pedo Bear. Thank you and good night.